Hey, I'm Destiny from Fate of Destiny. In my latest video, I introduced the subject of concealed carrying with less than lethal options. But sometimes there are circumstances when that's not sufficient for self defense. In these cases, a potentially lethal option may be preferred. So I'm going to discuss two potentially lethal options, starting with pocket knives. So you can see here, I carry multiple knives. And I used to only carry one. But how it operates now is I try to carry about three. Sometimes it varies depending on what I'm doing or where I'm going. This little guy is the Cold Steel Mini Tough Light. And as the blade is so small, I usually just use it for utility, stuff like opening my mail or small paper or small plastic packaging. When I have need of a utility blade and that 2-inch edge isn't sufficient, I also carry the holdout too, but a plain edge. So this is a 4-inch blade and it helps me with stuff like opening boxes, and that's a little easier. However, I like to carry a dedicated self-defense blade. And for the time being, it's a Cold Steel holdout too, but it has a serrated edge. And I don't use this for any utility. I don't cut boxes, paper, anything with it. So the edge stays sharp if I absolutely have to use it. One of the reasons why I like to carry so many knives is because they can have so much variety. Differences in blade shape, the grind, whether it's a plain or serrated edge, the grip type, material, the coating on the blade, the method of deploy and locking mechanism is basically a customizable option. So if I'm in a situation where having an edged weapon would help me in a self-defense situation, knives are inexpensive and they'll never run out of ammo. Some of the disadvantages though, especially for someone of my size, is that they're only effective on contact. And in a situation where an attacker larger than me is coming at me, even though I have an edged weapon, it may not be enough of a force equalizer for me to defend myself. I can just plain be outmuscled, and someone can use my knife then against me. In those circumstances, circumstances like that are one of the reasons why I choose to carry a firearm. For the time being, I'm carrying a Kimbersys Pro 1911 in a crossbreed Super Tuck holster. Like a pocket knife, firearms also offer a wide span of variety in size, caliber, method of feed, like a removable box magazine, revolving cylinder, or breech fed. And within a caliber, there are different options in bullet type, like jacketed hollow points or full metal jacket. And then you can have standard pressure or extra pressure. So you can have a lot of variety even within a caliber. And one of the reasons I carry a firearm is because it's a force multiplier. It allows someone smaller to help defend themselves against someone larger, or one victim defend themselves against multiple attackers. And the capacity of a firearm just adds to that ability. However, with that, and one other thing is the increased range. With a firearm, I don't have to fight on contact. I can defend myself from a range of contact up to like 25 feet. And that's not something that an option like a knife or pepper spray offers, that not to the same degree. However, one of the disadvantages of choosing a firearm instead of something like pepper spray is the danger that it can present to someone who's not trained. Another disadvantage from choosing a firearm compared to like a knife is they're generally more expensive. And once the ammo is depleted, they're not a very effective self-defense tool. And generally, the size of a firearm makes them harder to conceal. And you can choose a smaller firearm, but generally, when you select something smaller, you're making concessions in caliber or capacity or both. And firearms, by their nature, they're prohibited in some places that options like a flashlight or pepper spray are not prohibited. So you have more restrictions to consider when you choose to carry a firearm. When I introduced the topic of concealed carry, some of the comments that I received expressed that some of you guys only carry one option for self defense, and more often than not, it's a potentially lethal option. So I'm curious what your opinions are. Who among you only carries one option? Or maybe do some of you carry a combination? And which do you prefer? Potentially lethal or less than lethal, or maybe a combination? Leave me a comment or even better, a video response and join the conversation.